Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for a little bit of technical difficulty there. We'll get that right moving forward. I apologize. Welcome here to yet another great show live, Tuesday, January 12th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you for joining me yet again here. We're going to be breaking down tonight's Super Tuesday college basketball action between the Maryland Terrapins and the Michigan Wolverines, and of course the Kansas Jayhawks and the West Virginia Mountaineers in today's earlier matchup. So before we get to that, we'll go ahead and break down last night's college football national championship between Alabama and Clemson. That was a thriller. And of course, today's DraftKings question of the day: who do you got in tonight's action? The Kansas Jayhawks or the West Virginia Mountaineers? Or if you would like, you can touch on the other game, the Michigan Wolverines or the Maryland Terrapins. I'm going to give you my breakdown on tonight's action and who I like later in the show. So starting off, make sure you give in a call in so you can weigh in on tonight's DraftKings question of the day. The number to call in live here to the studio, ladies and gentlemen, is 657-383-1868. Be sure to use the promo code Negdog at all of our sponsors and affiliates here at Negdog.com, and you will be sure to get a special bonus that you only get through us. So I want to thank you all again for listening. Once again, the studio number is 657-383-1868, and don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. We do not screen your calls here on the Negdog Radio Network. So an incredible game last night in the national championship. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a snoozer, as tradition with a lot of these bigger games, Super Bowls, World Series. People want excitement. They want to see a thriller, and that's what we got last night between these two great teams. I'm glad it came down to them because you could definitely tell that they were the two best teams. Alabama taking it 45-40, and yet another winner picked here on the Big D show. On record, we are 4-1 for this season. So, how did Alabama do it? Derrick Henry is how they did it. The guy is amazing, Heisman Trophy winner, and what else can you say about his performance last night? They leaned on him heavy, 36 carries for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. They fed it to him early and often, and he definitely performed for the Tide last night. Lane Kiffin did not want to take it out of his Heisman Trophy winner's hands, and you can't fault the guy for getting it done with 45 points. Granted, one of those touchdowns was on special teams on what was probably the play of the year in college football, folks. Kenyan Drake, and I told you about him on the pregame show. I told you that he would have a big impact on the game, and what does he do? Instead of taking it out of the backfield like I expected, he returns a kick, folks, takes it from one side of the field, 53 yards over, sticks his foot in the ground, makes a great move, loses multiple defenders, and then outraces the rest of the Clemson Tigers to the goal line. He dives from 5 yards out with a defender on his back to get what was probably the best camera shot we got of the season from the pylon cam. And, folks, if you don't like the pylon cam, I don't know what's wrong with you. It provided us great angles last night on the replays, on the Henry touchdown, and also on the Drake touchdown. So I think they need to implement that throughout all of football, and it will make the game better. Some low-key performers last night for Bama that many expected probably wouldn't make the impact that they did. I told you about our Darius Stewart. 2 big catches stretching the Clemson defense on the deep ball. 2 big catches for 63 yards, keeping key drives alive. He made a great catch along the right sideline from Coker on a perfectly placed ball and definitely opened up some of those lanes for Henry, as did tight end O.J. Howard. Fantastic performance by this guy. 5 targets, 5 catches, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns. And not only did he make plays as a receiver, he did it blocking as well. His first 2 touchdowns in 2 years. Used to lean on him heavy, somewhat forgotten in Kiffin's system, but he rewarded the senior tonight. And I definitely look for O.J. Howard to make big plays at the next level as well. A great receiving tight end, needs to get bigger, but probably will be a mid-round draft pick. I told you Bama's secondary was going to make a play. Solid throughout, and you saw it by Eddie Jackson, the safety. A perfectly read ball, makes the play in a cover 2 scheme. And just on the only poor throw we saw out of Deshaun Watson last night, who I thought was absolutely incredible. The front 7 of Bama held Clemson to only 145 yards on 38 carries, a majority of the yardage coming on scrambles by Watson, and a few hit-or-miss plays on designed quarterback runs. Coker came up clutch when necessary for Bama. The numbers are deceiving, folks. 16 of 25 for 335 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looks very impressive, but for the most part was actually very ineffective throughout much of the game. Completed a lot of shorter passes, which resulted for a majority of his completions, but was able to hit the deep ball with great accuracy when called upon. You'll never know. Gets his senior action, makes the big play for his hometown, Alabama Crimson Tide, and we'll see if he performs well at a pro day. You know, maybe gets an invite. We'll see what he does at the next level. I don't think he will be very successful, but it's yet to be seen. Moving on to the Clemson side of the game, I mean, how can you fault these kids and Coach Dabo Swinney? They played their heart out. Coach Dabo was very upset with the refereeing in the game. Terrible job on clock management done by the upstairs official before the half that cost the Tigers some yardage, which may have resulted to a missed field goal. He had to kick a lower trajectory ball that was blocked by the Alabama defender in the middle of the big defensive tackle. So you never know. Another officiating play leads to some controversy in yet another big game. And I just think we need to get these things right. Let's get the best officials out there, not the Three Stooges. Run game was very ineffective for Clemson throughout. We touched on that in the pregame show, that was going to be a crucial component for them. And it really stifled their offense. Gallman couldn't get going for a lot of the game. Made some big plays late, but for the most part, it was Watson scrambling for most of their rushing yards. And Watson looked like the only real threat. I know most people heard Urban Meyer at halftime saying that, you know, he would personally have 5 wide out there with Watson just out there making plays. We didn't see Swinney go to that strategy. He stuck to his guns, just came up short. Watson with a great game, 30 of 47 for 405 yards and 4 touchdowns. Of course, one of those coming late in garbage time, but great effort throughout. Their defense played extremely well for the majority of the game. Like I said, one of those touchdowns did come on special teams, which you can fault the defense, but not necessarily because some of those guys aren't on the special team. So Shaq Lawson and Kevin Dodd, great defensive end play. Everybody knew about Lawson. Just came into the game with an MCL injury and still played the way he did, several sacks. Kevin Dodd, the other defensive end, was also huge. Played well for a majority of the game, but missed his shot on the Coker touchdown run in which he was shook out of his shoes, folks, and allowed Coker to score a touchdown, which pretty much sealed the game at that point. The defense just couldn't come up with any turnovers as Bama did not give up the ball when they had possession, and it led to them getting the victory. Last thing on this game, folks, before we move on to the next topic, Hunter Renfrow, what an absolute monster performance last night from the redshirt freshman, something that the announcers would not touch on last night for some reason. The kid has been in the system, and he knows what he's doing. So I think if he doesn't have one yet, be sure to get this kid a scholarship. If you want to give me your opinion on what happened in last night's game, be sure to give in a call to the studio lines. They are wide open, 657-383-1868. Once again, that number is 657-383-1868. Today's DraftKings question of the day: who do you got in tonight's college hoops action? The Jayhawks versus the Mountaineers, or do you got the Maryland Terrapins or the Michigan Wolverines? You can touch on both games. You can touch on one. Call in live to the studio, 657-383-1868. This episode of The Big D Show is brought to you by Negdog.com. Be sure to use the promo code Negdog at all of our sponsors and affiliates you find there, and you will be sure to receive a bonus when you sign up. We're going to take a quick musical break here. We're going to play another song by Half Past. I know a lot of you are excited on Twitter and Facebook for that. Hit us up on Twitter at BigD813. This is Juggernaut.
If you ain't on shit, it's time to go. Turn around in the adios. Trace my dreams till I Charlie hoes. Punk, if you wanna dance, kick the party off. I'm coming for the number one like I was number two. I wouldn't be anywhere bad if I was you. I'm an individual, this just something I like to do. Pressure make diamonds, I'm in the booth dropping jewels. Just a shorty hearing stories about how Papa was the dude, the goon. But was cool, wish I got to know him too. The only crack told me my tooth, officer truth. See the red or blue pill, I only own for the truth. Hell no, I don't trust the government, nigga, you dumb as shit. If you coming for what I come to get, better come with it. Drop kick your ass in the throat, jump from a running sprint. Whatever you want, fact, I'm not the one you want it with. Everything I do is for my children. I'm just trying to make a difference, not division. This is serious. I used to question if I was strong or not. Grew up and turned out to be the Juggernaut. 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 Who would've knew I was the Juggernaut? Juggernaut. 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 Thought I was weak and turned out to be the Juggernaut. You think you know me? Yeah, you think you know me, but you do not know me good. I grew up in the hood, times harder than morning wood. But who am I to you? I'm just a guy. The ugliest caterpillars turn into butterflies. The shit we gotta do to survive is fuck sometimes. But I'm trying to make this empire rise like Lucius Lines. Come around here looking for trouble, I may oblige. Otherwise, do you let me focus on doing mine. I got friends that made a fortune from stick-up juice in the handgun. Some friends that made their fortune from chickens like Colonel Sanders. Some friends that got their financial aid and went to Stanford. I heard I could write rhymes on the paper and buy a mansion. They call it rap music, thus I got attached to it. So I get piping hot to hear niggas this whack do it. I used to question if I was strong or not. Who would've knew I turned out to be the Juggernaut? Juggernaut. 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 Who would've knew I was the Juggernaut? Juggernaut. 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 Thought I was weak and turned out to be the Juggernaut. 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 If you.
All right, and that was Juggernaut by my boy Half Past from Chicago. Go check out his website, truerapmusic.com. If you like that joint, you can go check out that other one, Poe and Rich, I played on the previous episode that you can be sure to check out in the archives, folks. And I want to welcome you back to yet another great edition of the Big D Show. Thank you for joining me if you've already been here, and if you're new to the episode, thanks for joining us late here. We're in the second half of the Big D Show, brought to you by Negdog.com. Be sure to use the promo code Negdog at all of our sponsors and affiliates like DraftKings. whose question of the day here on Big D Show, okay, is who do you got in tonight's college hoops action? The Jayhawks of Kansas or the Mountaineers of West Virginia in the first game? And in the second game, do you have the Maryland Terrapins or the Michigan Wolverines? I'm going to be breaking down both of those games coming up. Be sure to give a call into the studio lines. They are wide open, 657-383-1868. Moving on to this college hoops action, we've got the Jayhawks and the West Virginia Mountaineers coming up here in about 12 minutes Eastern Standard Time. And the Jayhawks are coming off a very impressive win over then number 2 Oklahoma. I believe they are still number 2 in the latest rankings after losing in a very close triple overtime thriller. The Jayhawks will be featuring dominant big man Perry Ellis in this matchup. You really can't miss him. All jokes aside, the guy looks 40, but he has grown man game down on the block, ladies and gentlemen. He averages 16 points and 7 rebounds, can step out and shoot the three-pointer, and will be featured as a part of the offense. The ball will touch his hands at some point every possession, whether it be down in the post or at the high post area around the foul line. The Jayhawks feature great guard play from Wayne Selden Jr., who's averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, and senior Frank Mason, 13.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists. This team is deep. It's talented. That's why they are number 1 in the land at 14-1 right now. And, of course, as everyone who follows college hoops knows, the Big 12 runs through Lawrence. The Jayhawks have completely dominated this conference and are the powerhouse. They are definitely the favorite coming into this matchup with the Mountaineers. They feature several players who can get it done. Their main guy, though, is Devin Williams, the forward. He's going to pace the Mountaineers tonight. That average 6 players with 7.5 points, but Williams is taking the cake with 14.5. They're going to play high-tempo basketball. They're going to press on both ends of the court. They're going to look to get up as many shots as possible, as Bob Huggins has been known to do throughout his entire coaching career. They will also bring the heat with some full-court defense. Quick thing to note in this game, the Mountaineers blew a big lead in last year's matchup. Will they be able to score with Kansas? The Mountaineers are a very high-scoring team, but they haven't played a defense quite as good as UK. And will they be able to stop UK, who's able to handle this up-tempo style, as they like to play it themselves, but are also able to slow the ball down and score in the half court? So that's going to be interesting to watch how the Jayhawks use the tempo of the game. I'm picking Kansas in a pretty sizable win. I'm saying by 7, and what should be a high-scoring and interesting game. Who do you like in that matchup? Give a call in, 657-383-1868. I've got a caller in the studio. We're going to bring him live right now. Caller, you are live here on the Big D Show.
Hey, it's Negdog. How you doing, Big D? Good show.
Negdog, thanks for joining us, man. What's going on?
Not much, just listening to the show, enjoying another evening of the Big D Show. I appreciate you taking the ship and driving it for another half hour tonight, giving us some sports updates. Crazy game last night. Exciting game. Where's all the SEC guys? I thought your boy would be calling back in going SEC.
Yeah, I'm surprised Garcia hasn't given a call in, or all the rest of you SEC chess beaters. Give a call in. Let's hear what you have to say about that Bama game. 657-383-1868. Neg, tonight's DraftKings question of the day. Who do you have in these college hoops matchups? Let's start with the Jayhawks and the Mountaineers. Who you taking?
Traditionally, I guess I got to go with Kansas. The Jayhawks can't wait for March Madness. Now college football's over, but guess what? Now you jump right into college hoops. I remember when we played out at Lakeland, and they said, don't worry, number 12, number 13, basketball season starts tomorrow. So basketball season starts today, boys and girls. So our DraftKings players, I would definitely try to stack some of the kids from Kansas tonight. I like Kansas. I would take them. If it was bracketology today, I'd have to go with Kansas.
Me as well. They looked like the most complete team so far. Be sure to use the promo code Negdog when you do sign up at DraftKings. You will receive a nice little bonus exclusively from the Negdog Radio Network. I definitely have to say take some Jayhawks. Like I said previously, Perry Ellis will be the guy to go to tonight. I think he dominates in this game. Devin Williams for the Mountaineers should also put up some nice numbers in what should be a little personal battle between the two power forwards. So, Ned, can you stay with me moving on to the next breakdown here?
Sure, buddy. I wanted to tell you, I don't know, I can't remember if you said anything on last night's show, but thanks for that pick of the tight end, man, for Alabama. Hadn't caught a pass touchdown since 2013, and I put it up online and said either they're going to need a Dickum play, a trick play, the onside kick. What a perfect onside kick at the perfect time. And sure enough, the tight end, folks, it's real simple. Alabama's the 33rd team in the NFL. Let's face it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they just continue to put out first-round talent. Their kicker threw a pass, it looked like, to the guy on the outside. I mean, I can't believe the kick we'll touch on this very briefly. The kick return team did not stay wide. They tightened down with the kickoff squad, and by doing that, it opened up the lane for the kicker to put a beautifully placed ball to the outside man, the gunner, and he just went and got it, and it was just a perfectly timed call by Saban yet again in another big game.
Yeah, we had a play like that, Coach Belanca. We used to kick it to Stevie Action Jackson down the sideline. They had the timing so good, they'd catch it in the air. We never did use that one. I can't remember, old Cowboy legends, where he at. I don't remember, but I remember the play. Beautiful game, beautiful play. Just an awesome game last night. Shout out to Ray and the Florida boys. You could tell they missed Dion a little bit on Clemson's side. So, hey, you got to move on. The franchise of the Alabama Roll Tide. And since nobody else called and said SEC, I'm definitely not going to say it. So I'm going to say go Noles. And all you Gator fans out there, beating your chest talking about SEC, get some balls back. Quit being nut riders. I mean, I honestly saw more Gator fans doing that. I didn't see many. I don't know, man. Am I going crazy over here, Big D?
I mean, in the rest of the country outside of Bama, I think the Bama fans may be a little bit more, not as shoving it in your face because they've been there and they've done that. I mean, in Bama, it's a different story, but yeah, them Gator fans, they will definitely tag on to whatever they can get a hold of.
All I know is at the Citrus Bowl, we ran them out of there against Michigan. So I think that's the second game tonight. Go Blue!
Yeah, and before we touch that, some other games to check out there. Number 8, Miami versus number 13, two tournament-bound teams. Number 13, Virginia, the Cavaliers. Two tournament-bound teams should be a good one. Number 17, Iowa State. They feature George Niang and Monte Morris, a great front court versus Texas, who's been sliding. But guard Isaiah Taylor is always dangerous. Last game, Big East matchup, number 12, Providence. They haven't been up there in a while. They are looking nice this season with the leading scorer in the NCAA, Chris Dunn. That's another guy to go ahead and take on your DraftKings lineup. Versus Creighton, who has moved out of the middle conferences, and they're up into the Big East now, which, of course, is a basketball powerhouse conference. So be sure to check out those matchups. Moving on to tonight's game, we have the number 3 Maryland Terrapins here and the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan sitting at 12-4. No Karis LeVert tonight, their NBA prospect. 5-9 without him over the past 2 years. They struggled versus number 20 Purdue on Thursday without him, and that snapped their recent 6-game win streak. Good balance on offense with 5 players averaging 8 points. And without LeVert, they will lean heavily on Zach Irvin and Derek Walton, as well as new starter Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahim, the sophomore. It will be exciting to watch him. He's played well of late, can get to the cup, and can shoot. Now, the Terrapins, they feature All-American guard Melo Trimble, the sophomore. Go-to guy, has all the skills, and can get it done on all areas of the court. Take him in your DraftKings lineup without question. That guy can ball. Transfer Rashid Suleiman also is a contributor. Solid player, experienced from his time at Duke. And they also feature freshman phenom center Diamond Stone, who will be a huge advantage against the Wolverines tonight as they feature a weak front court, which is headed by sophomore center Ricky Doyle. So look for Diamond Stone to be a big contributor tonight on DraftKings. I'm optimistic for a Michigan upset tonight, but I have to be realistic without LeVert. I can't root or pick against my Wolverines, but more than likely Maryland takes this home. Unless Karis LeVert can somehow get on the court, the Wolverines may be inspired without him and will try to get it done. I say it's a closer game than people expect. Hopefully my Wolverines can take it, but Maryland probably gets it done. Who do you like in this one, Neg?
Yeah, that's a NCAA hoops classic right there. Maryland, Michigan on the hardwood. So I'll just be rooting for blue. You know, we got our homer picks and we got our lead pipe big shot locks. This is just a homer game for me, folks. Go blue.
Yeah, me as well, and I want to thank you for joining me on another great show here on the Big D Show, Negdog. Be sure to check out Negdog. Thanks so much. Be sure to check out Negdog.com. For Negdog, this is Big D. Thank you for joining me once again here on another great episode. Be sure to get in your DraftKings lineups, promo code Negdog. This is my boy Ansky with investment.
Man, bangers like I'm Tony. All these people asking me how you do this shit, how you did that, how you get this, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Gotta add the money like a fucking banker. My girl was acting up, so I had to spank her. Woo! Holding this shit down like a fucking anchor. Collecting all this dough like a fucking baker. Woo! I make money. Invest, you waste money. Stop trade, you make money. Not drug, but real money. It's funny how this shit go. Yeah, I really want my wrist frozen. Yo, bitch, we cuffing balls, so I call her Ocho Cinco. Woo! I make bank. Fake niggas can't relate. They acting up like a movie scene. Why it got a bad rate? It's increasing my heart rate. It's racing like speedway. She wet cause that foreplay. I'm these got me straight. Woo! What time it is? KO the S. Time to get this money. Time to get this bread. I'm making money. These niggas suck. Say they real, but niggas bluff. I'm so done. I've had enough eating rappers. I'm getting stuck. Don't waste my time. Get out my face. I'm on my grind. Like I can skate. I'm getting money. I'm getting rich. It's broad day and we hit licks. Year round like season 6. Don't talk to pigs. I plead the fifth. I'm in my zone. I'm in my lane. Get out my face. Get out my way. I invest. I stop trades. Vine jumping like DK. A million loot overnight. Need that shit like every day. Woo! Gotta add the money like a fucking banker. My girl was acting up, so I had to spank her. Woo! Holding this shit down like a fucking anchor. Collecting all this dough like a fucking baker. Funny how this shit go, yeah, I really want my wrist frozen. Yo, bitch, you puffin' balls, so I call her Ocho Cinco. Said it's funny how this shit go, yeah, I really want my wrist frozen. Yo, bitch, you puffin' balls, so I call her Ocho Cinco. Woo! I smoke dank, fake niggas can't relate. Inhale, I exhale. Damn, I can't see straight. Walking around, eyes closed, like this is a dream chase. Meet Mill up in this bitch. Now I need a dream date. my time. Get out my face. I'm on my grind. Like I can skate. I'm getting money. I'm getting rich. It's broad day and we hit licks. Year round like season ticks. Don't talk to pigs. I plead the fifth. I'ma hit a freestyle. Yeah, yo bitch, you know that she's so wild. Yeah, I'm going in and I am making cash. Got your main shawty and you know she throw it back. Gotta get this money like a fucking banker. Got your main bitch, I'm about a fucking spanker. Yeah, I'm going in and I'm snapping, rolling and I'm smoking. Smoking on that loud pack and I fold you like a napkin. And I'm going in smoking. I don't care what a hater say, cause I flipped it like a token. I'm going in each and every day, snapping and I'm rolling, coming off the dome, bitch. About to have a song with Lil Chucky up in this bitch. That's why I am DMV, smoking on that loud green, and I'm with my fucking team. 8-1, fucking 3, 8-1 Trey is off the dome, 305 Day County, bro, and I'm snapping off the skull, nigga. You is just getting old. It's Ansky, it's Ansky, it's Ansky.
And that was Investment by my dog, Ansky. Go check him out, Ansky Music. Google him. He's everywhere. And if you're listening here in overtime, I want to thank you so much yet again for joining me on today's show. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at BigD813. Also, check us out on Facebook, The Big D Show. Be sure to follow us on both of those platforms. We will follow you back. We're not one of these trolls. And thank you for joining us yet again here on the Negdog Radio Network. I love you guys.